Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Dreamwalker Tarot. My name is Dawn, and this is the December reading for Gemini Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mars. Please go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell for post notifications. This month, I am working with Tiana Lee McQuiller's Sibyl's Oracle of the Black Doves of Africa Oracle deck. This deck is structured in a way that is a little bit different than traditional oracle cards and also traditional tarot, right? So the purpose of the deck is to kind of excavate internal issues as opposed to tarot that really deals with like the physical manifestations of things. This looks more like the internal motivations for things, or the internal things that will subsequently become external things. Again, the deck operates in a different way. There are 44 cards in the deck, 11 in each grouping. The first, which is the black card, which is the top left, is what is considered the core card, which is the core issue of this situation for you guys this month in December. Please excuse my phone. Okay. And then on the top right hand side is the card for the projection, and the projection is basically a representation of the justifications and the rationalizations that you are placing upon the core card, which is not allowing you to really see things for what they are. It's the mask that you're putting over it to kind of like justify it to yourself. And then the last two cards on the bottom are the action cards, which are separated into the cool card, which is the thought process that needs to occur before moving into the hot card, which is the action card. So the cards that came out this month for you, Gemini, the core card is being represented here by the accumulation card. And the projection card is being represented by the confusion card. The two action cards that came out, the first one, which is the cool action, is initiative, and the hot action is the abandonment card. My initial impression about these cards is I literally just finished doing the Taurus reading, and the Taurus reading also had the accumulation card as their core issue. And so for some of you, this could mean that you are dealing with the Taurus, or with the Taurus card, if I'm not mistaken, there's like a mirror thing happening. So you could be mirroring this activity to Taurus, or they could be mirroring it to you. So you might want to listen to the Taurus reading if you are dealing with the Taurus, or if you have Taurus in your chart. Accumulation is really seeming to be an issue in your reading as well as theirs. And then with the confusion card here, I definitely get the impression of Pisces, which is something that, like, the Pisces could also be in your chart, or you could be in a relationship with Pisces similarly to the Taurus situation, right? The initiative, and the abandonment card. There is the energy of Cancer here as well. And there's also the energy of the two of the Tower card, actually. And so, okay, so the Tower card, I'll just give a brief explanation, serves as an incident that happens. Usually when a tarot card comes up in a reading, it means that there's a specific event that occurs that basically is the cause of a breakdown in the foundation of a situation. And it could be a situation, it could be a relationship, but it's in that occurrence or incident is like a strike. It racks basically the foundation of something. And so when that happens, it's a sign and a message from spirit to look at what the foundation of something is being built on. If it's built on honesty, if it's built on trust, if a foundation is not sturdy, then it is removed. Spirit removes it out of your life so that you can build something a little bit with more stability, and that's a little bit more sturdy, right? And with the it looks like a seahorse in this particular photo, but it really is reminiscent of the Chariot card, which is representative of Cancer, and that is about movement. It's about moving forward and moving away from something. And so with these two cards facing each other, it's really a sign of moving away from something that is unstable, that does not give you the proper foundation in your life. And that is just my initial reaction. So I'm going to go ahead and read what the guidebook for this Oracle deck says. So the core issue card, again, is the kind of like the overarching issue of what is occurring for you this month. And that card is being represented by the accumulation card. The tagline for this card is all consume, few thoroughly digest. One of the key symbols on this card are the bees, and the bees represent productivity, sacrifice, teamwork, focus, and order. Their entire existence is dedicated to accumulation for the sake of their community, and the bowl of fruit symbolizes the abundance of such effort. One of the things represented here in this card is Nikal, who is the Phoenician Canaanite goddess of fruits. Her Sumerian Babylonian counterpart is Ningal. The priestesses of Nikal were said to be experts in the art of dream interpretation. And so this is important, particularly for your reading this month, Gemini, because of the presence of the confusion card, which I said is an indication of the Pisces card, which has a sense in kind of like knowing certain things and being a very intuitive sign. There is a sense that there is some sort of dreaming that is happening with you. There are some things that you were dreaming about that you are unclear about and that you're confused about, there's like messages to spirit, messages to you from spirit that are coming through to you in your dreams. And so if this is something that you're experiencing, this reading might really be for you. It is rare to meet a person who is absolutely content with what they have, because people often feel that they could do more if they had more. This would be positive if they fully utilized what they already accumulated and desired more to avoid the stagnation and boredom that inevitably lead to decay. In this scenario, the desire is healthy for a person's growth and development. However, if we want more without first using what we already possess, it leads to waste and greed. None would be reminded of the suffering caused by the inability to stop consuming more long after satisfaction has been achieved. Having a sense of abundance is a byproduct of recognition, appreciation, and giving. In other words, you must notice the bounty that surrounds you, appreciate it, and contribute to the well-being of others of others in any way you are able. It is the failure to do this that is the cause of the bottomless bucket syndrome that makes people feel impoverished and never completely satisfied, regardless of how much stuff they have. Many of us become vexed and critical if we hear a wealthy person complaining about anything, because we automatically associate accumulation with happiness. But contentment has little to do with actual quantity. The truth is, bottomless bucket types could be sitting upon heaps of gold, coins, diamonds, rubies, emeralds, and sapphires, but still find a reason to sigh listlessly for just one more something. Getting the accumulation card in a reading, you're asked to consider the following. Will more really make things better? Are you faking contentment because you are too afraid to ask for or seek more? Is your plan to get more, morally and ethically sound? Do you fully appreciate and use what you already have? Are you upset or angry that someone else is asking you to contribute or give even more if their request makes sense? Are you okay but just being greedy? And do you know exactly what it will take for you to feel fulfilled? With the presence of the confusion card next to the accumulation card, there is really the question, are you faking contentment that really kind of seems like it's playing out in the relationship between these two cards? Because there does seem to be a level of confusion for you in terms of accumulation. And again, like I said, this could be a relationship between you, a Taurus, a Pisces, or Cancer individual. It can be just something that you are dealing with just in general in your personal life, like a level of confusion regarding what it is that you want, what it is that you need. Let's take a look at the confusion card. The confusion card is, the tagline here is, confusion is a rotting belief yet undetected. The key symbols here obviously are the fish, and the fish represents one's faith. The octopus represents the complex situations that test our faith, and the inky water represents fear and unclear emotions. The card is referring Eris, who is the Greek goddess of rivalry, discord, and strife. When there are too many factors to be analyzed in a situation, or there doesn't appear to be any order, we become confused, and varying levels of panic ensue depending on the importance we place on resolution. If solving a riddle becomes top priority, it will be solved if we remain calm and focused and work on solving one problem at a time. That is the only way. Instinctually, we all know this, but sometimes an issue may intimidate us so much that we become overwhelmed by the daunting tasks ahead of us. This is a critical time for many people because it is at this point of confusion that they abandon something that was worth pursuing because it's too hard. What we must remember is that clarity is a prize that we must bestow upon ourselves by being patient and persistent in the quest. And that's so crazy because literally the abandonment card came out as the action card. So at this point of confusion, that they abandoned something that was worth pursuing because it becomes too hard. What we must remember is that clarity is a prize that we must bestow upon ourselves by being patient and persistent in the quest. If you get confusion in a reading, you are not clear about one or several important factors related to your situation, and you need to be in order to move forward. It may be telling you not to be afraid to seek more information and ask questions, or you may be warned against giving up altogether because you find the quest to clarification too difficult. And so we move into the action card. And again, the action card comes in two phases. It's a process of the internal phase, which is the things that we need to think about prior to executing the action phase. And here, the card that is shown for the cool action is the initiative card, and the tagline here is, the hair of the procrastinator grays the fastest. The seahorse represents slow but steady movement. Seahorses have great difficulty navigating the depths of the ocean, but they remain upright and give it all they got. The card here is really a statement of understanding and knowing yourself first, right? To know thyself. And to know the definitory meaning here is to prepare your mind to move. No matter how small the first step must be, step. Do not stand still for any reason, which is interesting because the next card, which is the action card here is abandonment, and the tagline here is, knowing on the rind will not make the fruit return. The scene here depicts the ruins of a first century Roman theater. At one time, this was a location of great performances and joy, but the possibility of both was denied to certain people based on socioeconomic inequality that wouldn't permit them to enter. It doesn't matter now, it's been decaying for too long to be fixed. This card represents the necessity to move on and seek amusement elsewhere. Terminus is also being represented here, who was the Roman god of boundaries. And the meaning for this card is to let it go, say goodbye. This is not worth your energy. So if you're in a situation that is very tumultuous, and there's a lot of rivalry, there's a lot of strife, and it initially seemed that it was a very fruitful situation that you would have enjoyed, and now you're kind of like looking at the situation because it isn't that way anymore. The fruit has long since disappeared, and it's like almost like a sense of you waiting for the former glory of the situation to return. The cards are saying that you might be wasting your time and to move forward. I mean, it's definitively saying to move forward. And with a seahorse here, there is an indication that you might need to make slow steps towards moving, but to actually start making steps towards moving out. This, again, is, of course, if you are able to look at the situation clearly, because if you are clear in your thinking about what's happening, then this does not pertain to you. But if you are having a confusion about it, this could symbolize that there is a breakdown of sorts in terms of the foundation that you're building. It may not be a sturdy foundation. And so these are the things that you need to look at this month in terms of whatever situation is that you might be going through. And this could be a relationship, this could be a job. Like you could be at a job where you felt like you were going to be getting paid more than you're getting paid. It's very unclear about your responsibilities, or it's very unclear about the future of the job. And so it might be asking you to leave. So this is all really dependent on kind of where you're at and what you're dealing with in your life. So yeah, that's it, Gemini. I hope this helps you. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate you taking the time to do so. This particular reading was not easy, and these messages from these cards are not easy, but it is asking for us to receive the information, to reflect, to look at how it's manifesting in our lives, to make that realization, put it together, accept what you need to accept, and take the necessary steps and the necessary action. Please go ahead and like the video and let me know in the comments how this is manifesting in your life right now. And please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for post notifications. Thank you again for listening, and I will see you soon, Gemini.